Today we're going to, what is it called? Be making a wreath and some clips and having figurine character images. And this is what it's going to look like, or we're going to try and make it look like at the end. So let's go on.
So this is where we started off. We're just coloring our images, and we're going to give you the link to where we located these images, but you could use any images that you like for your nativity scene. You could draw them yourself, and we're just choosing coloring pencils, but you could certainly use crayons, markers, paint, whatever you prefer. And here we're just using a blending pencil to blend in the marks from the coloring pencil. You can get a blending pencil at any art or craft store. And we're just doing this to kind of make it more of a more smooth, solid color. And it just kind of makes it look a little neater, but you certainly don't have to use that. Just make sure that if you are using the blending pencil that you don't cross from one color to the other unless you're trying to blend the two together. Clean your pencil before going to the next color. Here we decided to use Dimensional Magic by Mod Podge, and we used cardstock to try and make sure that it had a thick base. We just outlined first the image and then filled in with the Dimensional Magic. So we used the Dimensional Magic like we showed you, but what ended up happening was the edges curled up. It also left milky, kind of foggy spots on some of the surfaces, so they look kind of cloudy and blurred. But we ended up cracking it so to straighten out the paper, and it crackled. But we went back over it with just some plain Mod Podge to fill in those cracked areas, and it kind of helped it to stay a little straighter, but we did still have some curling from the original Dimensional Magic.
So in this step, we're preparing our tongue depressors for our stable. Yeah. So we're going to be, also you could get these from any craft store. We're going to be staining them, brushing or patting it on or something like that. And then we're going to be wiping it off. And then we're going to set it over here to dry. And then once it's dried, we're going to flip it over to the other side and do that side too. Oh, also you can paint it or you can leave it plain, whatever you would like. Of course, this step that we're doing could be a little messy, as you can see, but yeah.
So here she is staining the tongue depressors for the stable. We did this step also for our clothespins, which will be the clips that our character pieces are going to be glued to and will clip onto the wreath. You can choose to either stain those or leave them plain, paint them, whichever you prefer. Once our tongue depressors were dry, we put some Mod Podge, and you can do either gloss or matte. We chose to do matte because this is supposed to be like the wood timbers of our stable, and we just wanted it to not have a shine to it. So we put some Mod Podge on the tongue depressors and laid down the pieces of wood that we had colored, and then went back over it with a coat of Mod Podge. Let that dry, and the stable timbers are complete at that step and will just need to be glued together.
So we're going to be using a wired clothes hanger for the base of our wreath. And you can paint yours if you would like, or you can leave it plain. It's okay, however you would like it. We're going to bend it in like a circle. It doesn't have to be perfect.
So here we have some fabric, and we have about 1/3 of a yard, any kind of fabric. We used like a linen fabric, and we cut it 1 inch by 7 inches. We have tulle, another 1/3 of a yard, and we cut that about 1 inch by 4.5 inches. We also chose to add some twine, and we cut that in 4.5 inch pieces, as many as you'd like. Here we are just going to tie on our strips of fabric and tulle and twine. You can do this in larger quantities of like the fabric and less of the tulle and twine, which is what we did. Those were just more like accent pieces of fabric. But you just go around tying it around your wire frame until you have it semi-full. You don't want it to be too full because you want your clips to be able to clip on.
Okay, we're done tying on all the pieces. And again, you can use any color you would like, or maybe ribbon, or any like fabric, or like whatever you would like to tie onto this. And voila!
Once we have tied our fabric around our wreath, we are going to now start assembling. We have taken our tongue depressors and glued them together in the shape of a house or a stable. We are going to then take a piece of twine and loop it through this top of the stable and tie a knot so that it can hang from the handle of the wreath. Now we have our clothespins that we stained, and we are going to attach the character pieces by hot gluing them. We want to make sure though that we lay out where we want our pieces to be on the wreath first, because we want to have a general idea how they're going to fit and what angle we need to use or apply them to our clothespins. You always want to do so that the mouth of the clothespin faces the inner part of the wreath and that the handles of the clothespin face out. That's so that it's easier to clip on and they don't get in the way or block the characters that are on the inside where the stable is. So if you put a character on the right hand side of the wreath, just make sure that the handle is facing to the right, and if you're putting a character on the left hand side of the wreath, you're putting the clothespin so that it's on the left hand side. Next, we're going to glue our characters onto the clothespin, and this is something that children should have adult supervision for, just because it is so hot and can easily be burnt. And so we're just simply applying the glue to where the character would sit, and you don't have to cover the entire piece, but and then just press the character down onto the clothespin, let it dry for a second, and then it's ready to be clipped onto the wreath.
This is it, guys. Our wreath! And they're removable. Yeah, I'll just do this one. They're removable, so you can put them on and off. You can use different color fabric if you would like, and if you want, you can like maybe do some other stuff like for the clips, maybe like Valentine's Day, for Easter, for like St. Patrick's Day, New Year's, Halloween, fall, whatever you want to do with them, because it would be your decoration. But here it is. I hope you have fun making this project, and join us next time. Bye!